quickly talk a bit about. Thank you. Being recorded. So allow me to quickly to talk about why this is so important. I have been looking at education systems in Nigeria for the past 25, 30 years. And I've been looking at how can we change or move things from where it is to where it should be. And now we have the opportunity to partner with a UK university offering undergraduate and postgraduate to help our teaming youth move from where they are to where they should be. Let me just give you a bit of statistics in terms of over 2 million people apply to university places every year, over 2 million, and only about 500,000 get a place. And the rest have to wait for another year or have to travel out of the country. We see this is a huge amount of capital flight from Nigeria, another part of Africa. So Sunderland University deemed it wise to have a base, and partnering with them has been a very important step. We have 4 courses which we'll be talking about, which we are currently running, which is starting in September. BA in Business Management, BA in Business and Marketing Management, and of course, BSc in Network Systems Engineering, top up, also starting in September. And of course, the good one that I would say or sell to anyone is a computer science program at undergraduate level. And we're starting a master's program from next year, January, February. So we hope that you enjoy all the presentations today. I'm here throughout the presentation to answer any question you might have. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you join us today on this important occasion. So I hand over to you, to the host once again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. That was the person of Dr. Larry, who is the chairperson of this event, and also the founder of the London Academy Business School, giving his opening remark. Once we're after now, we're just going to play one short video, and then we would have our first speaker, which would be Professor Derek. Professor Derek, are you ready for us?
Sure. Yes.
All right, great. So once I'm done playing this video, I'll just invite you.
The most special thing about the University of Sunderland in London here is, I think, the staff. They're very supportive, especially the professors. They're more like friends.
The lecturers are always ready to help you, and they want you to ask questions so that you understand the topics better.
Our students can expect excellent lectures, helpful staff, modern facilities, and excellent location.
We are based in Canary Wharf in the business environment. I think that that's something that is special for us to be here.
We find ourselves in the center of the financial capital of Europe, and also the cultural diverse team that we have, including our students.
I think we're a really friendly and family orientated community. We are very, very close to our student body.
There are no barriers. You don't need appointments to see us. You can just walk into our office.
We're very friendly, very approachable, very little distinction between students and academics and non-academic staff.
Teaching is about changing people. It's about sharing the knowledge, and that knowledge helps to change those people.
They have opportunity to have links with all these workplaces, industries while they're at the university before they complete their course, and sometimes they even go for placement and so on and so forth.
They come to us and are allowed to engage in a range of activities and opportunities that they possibly wouldn't get anywhere else.
We're ultimately here to help them achieve their goals and dreams by getting their degree here at the University of Sunderland in London.
We are a small campus here, and that means the students get to see me, they get to see the senior staff, their academics, every single day, and I think that gives us a real sense of a safe place to study and an ability to ask us anything they want to ask us at any time.
What the students need to know is that we are here to support them throughout their journey and their success.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next voice that you would hear would be that of Professor Derek Watson. Professor, over to you. Hi, Prof. I think you're still muted. You want to unmute your mic? Thank you.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
It's just saying I can't share my screen whilst another person is sharing their screen.
All right, let me just stop sharing so that you can share. Yes,
Okay.
Prof, please go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Just 1 second. Can you see the screen there?
Yeah, very clearly.
First of all, may I say, whilst on holiday in Greece, I wish you all the very best of luck on whatever decision you make in life on your educational decision. My name is Dr. Derek Watson, Associate Professor at the University of Sunderland campus. Now, when we're talking about options, which university to select, there are many brands out there. However, what we've got to do is we've got to identify which is the best option for yourself. And listening to Larry and colleagues, I'm passionate about the University of Sunderland. I've worked for the University of Sunderland for many years. And every year I feel as though I'm starting a new job in September. It is very exciting because when you enroll at the University of Sunderland, you not only get access to the University of Sunderland campus up in the Northeast, but London, Hong Kong, but equally so now, our very close relationship, carefully crafted between the university and Larry and his team. You're getting access to a lot of resources and expertise. And I just want to emphasize what was mentioned in the video. We teach beyond the textbook. And I'll emphasize that as we go through this short presentation. I am not one of talking about league tables. However, the university is within the top 50 UK universities, and that is by no means an easy feat. And I'll give you examples on why we are within the top 50 universities in the UK. Look upon the University of Sunderland's qualification as a passport. It is a ticket. Now, when you enroll on our programs, you've got to be thinking, and you'll find this out when you start day one, week one, year one, it's a ticket to a career with progression. That is one of our many unique selling points. We teach beyond the textbook, but when you come to class, we very much focus on employability and securing that career with progression. And Larry's just alluded there. These are a fleet of programs which we're starting. We're starting in September with the undergraduate programs. And then in February of 2024, we then progress to our postgraduate programs. Now, one of the many benefits of enrolling in labs with the University of Sunderland, it produces or creates or provides access to many career opportunities. And what I mean by that is the subjects that you will be introduced to will not be delivered in isolation. They will be very much connected together. So when you look for those jobs out there with progression, you can adapt your resume to open up various organizational routes of career. And also, many of you sitting there listening to me talking would be questioning themselves. Have I got the ability to pass? Will I pass first time? My answer to you, based off many years of experience at the University of Sunderland and my various visits to labs and meeting Larry and the team, we will support you from day one till the day you graduate and beyond through our collaborative alumni association. We understand the emotions that you will go through, and we have excellent support systems, which I'll add to as I go through the presentation. Our curriculum is once again quite unique. When you come to class in labs, you'll be introduced to subject areas supported with examples in 2023 in September. And so it should be, because when you go for a job interview, the employer wants to know how you understand that complicated world out there in Nigeria and globally, how you understand that. And the best way in interviews is to use and cite current examples which you've drawn from our very organic and progressive curriculum. And our academic team, if you look at our team there, you'll be asking the question, goodness me, that doesn't look very inspiring, and nor should it. Our academic team in labs, Nigeria, they're a sample of just the tip of the iceberg of key individuals who you'll be engaging with. To complement this delivery, in addition to labs academics, we also have academics from the University of Sunderland, London campus and Sunderland campus. And there's just an example of some of my colleagues who I work with very well with. Now, what's unique also about the labs offering, when you step into the classroom, you're not just being taught by a qualified teacher. You have that unique blend of academic qualified teacher, but also practicing consultants. And so it should be, because when you pay your fee, we need to ensure that we impart and you absorb current information which is brought from the commercial sector into the classroom. So it's a very vibrant and dynamic environment. But we appreciate that some of you may not have worked before. So we will start at stage one, and we start building your confidence through various initiatives, which I will further allude to. For example, when you come to class, what I call and what I take pride in at the University of Sunderland is called knowledge acquisition. We teach beyond the textbook. So we'll be using live examples in the classroom that you won't get from a textbook. And this will populate you with the knowledge and terminology. So when you go for that job interview, you are not talking like a student, you're talking like a young executive. We believe at labs in the University of Sunderland, we believe in a team dynamic. A team dynamic, we play all at one level. A group dynamic, you have a hierarchy, strongest at the bottom, strongest at the top, weakest at the bottom. We believe in a team dynamic with labs in the University of Sunderland. You will be given opportunities to have physical and virtual internships, working with live organizations and connecting with opportunities in England, in London and Sunderland. Just one second. Right, sorry about that. So you can gain a virtual placement. Now, how do we do this? What we have is we have a process, and I'm going to introduce you to a quick academic model. It's called the transformational process. So what we do is we take students, that's our input, we put them through the lab's experience in Nigeria, and out pops various opportunities to do assignments. Now, we do not believe in examinations at the University of Sunderland, because when do you do an examination on a day-to-day basis in a workplace? So what we will do is we'll present you with live case studies within that, so you can glean academic exposure and commercial insights. Now, to do this, you will also be given access to live case studies. Now, some of you will recognize the bands there, Coldplay and Rihanna. And this summer, we had Beyonce at the Stadium of Light. our students have the opportunity to engage with high-profile assignments. And out pops graduates. Now, if you look at that picture, you will see input students on day one and exiting students. Look at the body language and the confidence that they show. Now, our mode of delivery, yes, we will inform you in a polite way. We will guide you in a polite and supportive way, which you'll experience throughout your experience at the University of Sunderland with labs. Our academic team work as a team, and we support each other and we support students. And our student support services, as well as our caring, attentive academic team, will support you throughout your program and beyond when you graduate through our alumni. And what we do is we pride ourselves in this team environment in which we take students from day one, we support them, we nurture them, we expose them to the commercial environment in a supportive environment to secure that career with progression. Some of you may recognize this individual. It's Muhammad Ali. And what he said is, to be a real leader, you've got to believe that you're a real leader. And this is what we bring to the classroom. We also believe in very much in a yin and yang environment. Work hard and play hard. But be realistic. When you embark on your program, you're not embarking on a special forces assault course. We'll take stages and support you throughout your time. And there's a very important proverb. There are many paths to climb the mountain, and we will show you that route and that achievement at graduation. And also, don't think about the fail word. Make sure that you embrace your family, your partner, your children, or your friends throughout your academic journey, because you will change internally and externally. Also, appreciate that your academic tutors are human. So work on that relationship. All they want you to do is enjoy your learning journey and secure that career with progression. But if you need help, and you will need help at various times because we don't know what life throws at us, seek help. We have an excellent support system in labs and also the University of Sunderland. And as my professor used to say, when I was coming up with excuses why I couldn't submit my assignment on time, crack on. You need to work to the schedule with time management. Now, to do this, I recommend that you develop a schedule. And in green, you populate the days that you go into class, whether it's during the day or on an evening. Nobody should work on a Friday or Saturday evening because you should be out there enjoying yourself. Sunday evening, in yellow, you prep up what you're going to do for that week's work. And then you need to be accountable of your time. So for example, you may say that you're going to work from 6 o'clock till 9 p.m., but really you drift into work, you drift out of work. So out of that 3-hour window, at best, you will do 1.5 hours of studying. So work to that model. Set yourself 1 hour or 45-minute bite-sized pieces of studying. This will help you navigate your way through your studies. So you've got time for your careers, you've got time for socializing, but you've also got time for studying in that yin and yang process. And there will not be group work, but there will be teamwork. And we teach you techniques. For example, sometimes if you feel as though that you're not studying, procrastination, go to the gym, watch a Netflix movie, but make sure you account for your time. And at the end of the week, try to guesstimate how many hours you've worked, how many hours you have played. We will encourage you at labs to read journal papers. And I've been to labs in Nigeria several times, and I've seen the excellent resources available to you. Once again, this is one of the many unique selling points. And enjoy, embrace this learning journey, because you will evolve as a professional, citizen, which will contribute either to Nigeria or to your home country, or if you work overseas, to that specific economy. Always back up your materials. Yes, we try to live in a paperless society, but always have a paper copy in case you lose the information, and you can always word process, retype what you've lost. Start operating like an executive. Start your networking. Start building a portfolio of clients. Set up or revise your LinkedIn profile. And if you're looking at profiles, go on the University of Sunderland and check out the staff profiles, and you'll see how effective we are as academics and as consultants. Also develop on your learning journey impacts for your CV. Now, you get this in the classroom on a weekly basis or daily basis, but you'll also be given opportunities to participate at the University of Sunderland and London campus on employability opportunities. And we will work very closely with Professor Larry and his colleagues to help build that bridge and nurture a transactional relationship. There will also be opportunities out of class whereby students can socialize. And I strongly encourage you to do this. You cannot work 24 hours. You need to balance out your study time, your work time, and also, very importantly, your play time. We also have at Labs an excellent student voice. We have a staff student liaison committee. I will be visiting Labs. I will also be connecting on a weekly basis with academics and potentially with students to listen to your experiences. And what we will do is we'll recalibrate, we'll retune to make sure you're getting the best learning experience. But we will listen to you. And our students survey or student feedback is excellent, because we do monitor how you feel, and we do react to your feedback on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And we also educate students on the importance of not to plagiarize. We are well experienced in monitoring students to make sure that their work is authentic. And what we do is each week, your seminar tutors will ask you to discuss your progress with your assignment, and they will provide feedback. So week one, you'll be given advice to support you through your assignment. And this will encourage you to attend class, because if you don't, you will not be getting this valuable advice. And there is a strong correlation: weak attendance, low conversion to graduation. As I said, we've got excellent support services in Labs at the university to support your learning experience, your emotional highs and lows in life, which we all experience. But we'll also educate you into research gaps. So you may not actually want to go into the commercial sector. You want to craft a career in academia. Employability is very important. Week one, day one, we'll emphasize and give you opportunities to work with live organizations. And there's just a few examples of commercial organizations. And there are some photographs, real photographs, capturing our students from Nigeria and further afield on how effective we are at taking students on day one, providing a rich learning experience and getting them to graduate first time. And if you listen to Larry and his colleagues in the University of Sunderland and myself, we will see you at graduation in Labs Nigeria, or possibly at the University of Sunderland, and we'll shake your hand when you graduate across the university. Thank you very much for that whistle-stop tour, but seriously consider enrolling in Labs in the University of Sunderland. I think I'm opening up to some questions. I'm just going to stop sharing, and I can now open up to any questions that you would like to ask about what is life like in the classroom, what are your assignments that you're going to be faced with, and techniques on how to pass. So I'll put that back to, yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. We have a session for question and answers. It's actually going to be a very interactive session. So until that session, I would want that, everyone holds on with their questions, and we'll get to that particular session.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we're going to bring up the next speaker after this next video. The next speaker would be Professor Ifeoma. Professor Ifeoma, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. So we're going to bring you up right after this video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where shall we begin? The end seems pretty logical, right? With the doctors, the nurses, the engineers, the designers, teachers, scientists, lawyers, social workers, psychologists, accountants, writers. You get the idea. The huge number of people who've walked through our doors and gone on to become something exceptional, who are defining their own path, have become leading names in their field, who are breaking down barriers and inspiring others. This guy's not doing too bad for himself either. Yes, we're proud. Proud of our career-focused courses, proud of our top-quality facilities, proud of our inclusive, welcoming culture. And we're proud of our vibrant, bustling, switched-on, independent, ever-changing city. Oh, and did we mention the beaches? But truth be told, our greatest achievements, what we're most proud of, simple. We're most proud of you, of where you go after us, of what you do after you're done here. Because that's the point, isn't it? That's what this is all about. The reason you come here is to go somewhere. And the reason we're here is to get you there. Together, from day one. Think course, think career, think Sunderland.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that very interesting video. So our next speaker is Professor Ifeoma. Before she comes up, we just want to read a very brief bio. Professor Ifeoma Okoye is a trailblazer in the medical field with an MBBS, an FWACS, as well as an FMCR honor. As the director of the UNNCECT, her contributions towards clinical trials are invaluable, as she is a leading female voice in the health sector in Nigeria and in the world at large. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clap emoji, please welcome Professor Ifeoma Okoye. Prof, over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Prof.
Just saying hello from Nigeria. And looking at my topic, I actually expected that we're going to be in a panel and people will be making contributions, and that I wasn't here to give a lecture, as it were. So,
Prof, we would have the panel right after now. We just,
okay, right after.
Yes,
okay.
right.
So I'm speaking on this topic, give my views on global education as a catalyst for social change. And every education is very important. It depends on what you do with what you're being taught. Everybody, there is an assignment for which you were born. And as you glide through life, all around you are gaps. Those gaps, one of them is for you to fill. So if your education doesn't get you to start asking questions, how can I change the situation rather than be complaining, especially in the context of our country, Nigeria, where
Hello, Prof. Are you still with us? I think we've lost you. All right, I think we will just play a video and while we get Professor right back. We'll be right back.
London is a cosmopolitan city.
The city is really nice.
Where every opportunity is on the door.
I love London. I really enjoy it. It's just the best experience to have, leaving your culture to come into another culture.
Doing my master degree, which is general at the moment, in University of Sunderland, London campus.
I chose the University of Sunderland, London campus because they offer the course I wanted to do, which is tourism and hospitality management.
The university have a good reputation.
The location is great.
It's located in a very good area.
The University of Sunderland London campus is situated in the business village in Canary Wharf.
For me, it's very good opportunity to study at the same time business course in the business city. It's basically close to the center as well, which is easy for international students to travel.
The environment is perfect for studying.
Good and quality of education.
The lecturers are perfect, well educated and very friendly.
There's good opportunities for international students. And also, UK degree is one of the best.
It's a long cherished dream that I will be a businessman in future, so that's why I'm studying in business management.
In the future, I actually want to be a businesswoman.
After graduating MBA course, I'm planning to find a good job in UK or maybe in some other international countries.
Knowing that I'm studying tourism in Sunderland University London campus has really given me a good opportunity because London has lots of tourist sites. Example is London Big Ben, Greenwich is just down the road. London has just been great.
I'll recommend all the international students to study in the University of Sunderland London campus.
I would recommend for other students to come to Sunderland University London campus.
Come on and study in London. I'm loving it and I'm having fun, so join me.
Okay, Prof, are you back?
Wow. Yes, I'm back.
Okay, all right.
The only
Prof.
problem I'm having is I was connected with my laptop,
Okay.
but now I'm connected with my phone and I get a lot of interruptions.
Oh,
So, as I was saying, I was going to use an example of how I went into the space of clinical trial and cancer control. Why? Because as a medical doctor, for instance, I came across several patients who had cancer. And one of the things, I mean, I've been a medical doctor for 43 years, so let this not come as a surprise to you. In those days, right here in Nigeria, once somebody has a cancer diagnosis, it appears that everybody gives up in the hospital. And they ask the patient to bring around their relations. And then, you know, they talk to him about, you know, going back. So that was where my question started. So if you want the education you're having, the global education you're having, to be a catalyst for social change, I'm actually an Ashoka Fellow, recognized as a social entrepreneur who has products that have the ability to cause social change, not only within my environment, but has the ability to scale. So that's why I'm an Ashoka Globalizer Fellow. And what I started asking myself is, how can you make the difference? How can you make things better? And I found out that the major reason for this catalytic feeling that we get in the hospital is because the patients come in very late stages of their cancer, when the available modalities for medical intervention cannot truly help them or give them any reasonable progress in terms of their getting better with what is available in the hospitals. So late stages more or less shorten the lifespan, and everybody became afraid of cancer. The word cancer was synonymous with a death sentence. So you had to now cut through the myths, and somebody had to do that. If we continue to stay in our closets in the hospital waiting for patients to come, then we'll always get them at late stages. So I offered myself to go into the communities and begin to educate people about the need to look out for the changes, the need to know when to screen, how to screen, where to go if they find something, who to go to, and how to get help. And clinical trials was again another question in my heart, looking for ways to improve the infrastructural deficiencies in our hospital. And having had the privilege of having my children, 4 of them in the UK, I found that in most of the hospitals, you have wards which are dedicated to high net worth individuals. But in Nigeria, we tend to wait for government to make provision for everything. So I started looking around for ways to begin to engage with our high net worth individuals and see how they can help to put their hands on the plow and get some of the mundane facilities, the absence of which were ending lives in the hospital. And I called it Saving the Lives We Can Save. For 2 years, we fundraised and we didn't get anything except 2 million from Mobile. So on a visit to England, I found out, listening, actually I was overhearing somebody having a discussion, and I heard about clinical trials. And I said, that is it. We have so much data. We have so much data. And the world will need this data to be able to, you know, make some projections about our own population dynamics. And it's then not a one cap fits all. So I started looking into how to engage with stakeholders doing clinical trials outside the country and bringing them over to Nigeria as faculty to train the research capacity build, the infrastructure for clinical trial, I engage with the regulatory authority. And, you know, it wasn't my job. I had a job that was paying me. These were things I was doing just because I wanted to effect social change. So what am I saying? Global education is only useful to you if you are ready to be a vessel to make social impact. So this is very, very vital for
that to be the mindset of the student as he comes in, so that the university will go through you and you will go through the university. In those two, some people will want to leave out one, but no, you want to have the full potential of what this amazing university that has to offer is so much, but it depends on you to be able to position yourself to leverage all that it has to offer and to utilize it as tools to engage and ensure that you fulfill your purpose. Everybody is born with a purpose. Everybody is born to achieve and to be able to effect a change, to effect a social change that will have impact. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What a very impactful session. Thank you so much, Professor Ifeoma, for that very, very impactful session. So we will just go directly into the panel session. But before the panel session, we would want to invite Dr. Tunde. We've seen a lot of questions about the program. A lot of people popping in their questions. So please just ensure that you get into the Q&A section of the Zoom, of your Zoom platform, and drop as many questions as you can in there, and we would be very glad to respond to those questions. But for now, I will call on Dr. Tunde for his session. Thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. And then we welcome you to the webinar of today. Very quickly, I want to speak about the Sunderland and London Academy Business School programs, the courses, the undergraduate courses, and also the postgraduate courses. So basically, I would like to start with the undergraduate courses. We know that many of us are asking questions, and then we've been told to put these questions into the comment sections, and we can assure you these questions will definitely be answered in due course. So as displayed on my screen, we have the undergraduate courses. So, let's bear in mind that all undergraduate courses have a flat rate. We have the first course, undergraduate courses for the University of Sunderland, here in Nigeria is Business and Management. We have the second course as BA Business and Management. Second course, BA Business and Marketing Management. We have the third course, BSc Computer Science, and the other one, BSc Network and System Engineering, which is a top-up program. So top-up program is basically a one-year program for those that already have HND, you already have a degree and you want to, also migrate into some other disciplines. So, but basically we have these four programs at the undergraduate level: Business and Management, Business and Marketing Management, BA Business and Management, BA Business and Marketing Management, and for the science students, we have BSc Computer Science, and the last one for the undergraduate program is Network and System Engineering top-up program. So the cost for this program is £4,500. Now, let me quickly say this about this undergraduate program before I talk about the postgraduate program. Now, this undergraduate program can be done here in Nigeria. The UK, we have 3 years for the undergraduate studies. So the year 1 and the year 2 can be done here in Nigeria, here in Lagos, Nigeria. And for the 3rd year, you can go to the University of Sunderland, UK, to study for your final year, which is the 3rd year, and also enjoy, every other privilege those that have gone abroad to, that they definitely can enjoy. So you also have this privilege to enjoy some of these benefits. So you can choose to do, you can do your 1st year, 2nd year with us, year 1 in Nigeria, year 2 in Nigeria. Then you can then do the 3rd year in the UK. And again, let's bear in mind that if you choose to finish the 3 years in Nigeria, yes, you can, do your year 1 in Nigeria, your year 2 in Nigeria, and also complete it in Nigeria. But again, for some that are yearning to have the UK experience, you can then go to the United Kingdom for the 3rd year. That is for the undergraduate courses. And it's boldly written, £4,500, which is much more affordable. Having a UK educational certificate here in Nigeria is far more reasonable and affordable. Now, let me talk about the postgraduate program. For some of us that have done our first degree here in Nigeria, we are thinking, of having a postgraduate program in a world-class university like the University of Sunderland. I quickly want to run us through the postgraduate program, which is also 4. We have the first one as Master of Biz Admin Top-Up, Master of Biz Admin Top-Up. Then again, we also have Master of Business Administration, Masters of Business Administration General. Then we also have MSc Finance and Management, MSc Finance and Management. And we also have the 4th program, the first programming program as MSc International Business Management, MSc International Business Management. And the cost, the tuition fee is £6,500. I know many of us will be wondering that, why do we have 4 programs at the undergraduate level, and we also have 4 programs at the postgraduate level? So, with time, we'll then scale up having more programs. But again, in partnership with University of Sunderland, these 4 programs at the undergraduate level and the postgraduate level has been approved for now, for us to run in Nigeria and for Nigerian students to benefit. Now, again, I also want to talk about the start time for this program, just so many people may be thinking, when is the program starting? For the undergraduate program, it will be starting, we have the September-October intake. Basically, we have 3 intakes in a year. We have January, February, we have May, June, we have September, October. So I take again January, February, May, June, September, October. Now for this year, 2023, the undergraduate program will be starting September, October. This year, September, October, you can, put in your application for September, October if you are taking the undergraduate courses. Then for the postgraduate, that will be taking place January, February. For the postgraduate, January, February. Now, I really want to talk about something exciting. Now, for those that will be enrolling right away, for those of us that will be enrolling right away, the management, the board of directors of the London Academy Business School in partnership with University of Sunderland have agreed that we should give £1,000 scholarship, £1,000 scholarship for those that will be sending their request right away immediately after this. In the course of this webinar, you can then go to the comment section, request for application forms. My colleagues will be there to respond to us, take our inquiries, then, ask them, answer some of those questions. Now, for some of us that also want to read more about what we do in labs, that want to read more about what we do, and at the London Academy Business School, and also want to know more about our partnership with University of Sunderland, I want to let us know that come 22nd of August, all through 22nd September, there's going to be an open day. An open day is more or less is a career fair where you can come in to ask more questions. You want to have better understanding. You want advisors, counselors to talk to us. You want to hear from them. You want to be advised. And again, if you're also thinking of going, you don't even want to study in Nigeria, thinking of going to Sunderland directly, you want to ask questions, you want to have more knowledge, you want to know about the discipline you want to study, even some of those courses that are not displayed on this screen, you want to know more about them, you can come down to at the London Academy Business School at 362 Abamakoli Way, Yaba, 362 Abamakoli Way, Yaba. You can come down and also put the call across to us on +234 812 72 +234 7052 600 600 368. So you can reach out to us also on info@labs.org.uk, and you can also read more about us via our website www.labs.org.uk. So feel free, time will not allow me to speak more. You can put your questions on the comment section, and definitely I can assure you will respond to you, pick those questions up and also respond in due course. Again, you may be wondering, oh, my program is not displayed. I want to do a doctorate. I want to do MA in education. I want to do I want to do an educational master's. Again, just put those questions on the comment section or put it up. I will take them up. You want to do a diploma program. You already have the HND. You are looking at doing conversion programs. You already have an OND. You want to do your conversion program. You want to do your top-up programs, HND program. Yes, you also want to learn more about some of these things that we do. Now, let me say this before I leave, that there's no need to write the joint admission matriculation board, which is JAMB. Once you are joining our undergraduate program, there's no need to write JAMB. All as far you have your O level, you have your NECO, you have your SSC, you have your WAEC. Just feel free to reach us, and then we'll further guide you on how to be one of our students. And we also hope that you will be great leaders, like people that are also delivering lectures to us today, and the sky will be our limit as we progress. So thank you. We'll be ready to take your questions. Thank you, and God bless. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Tunde, for that very insightful session. I'll just quickly check if there are any particular questions for you, so that you can just address that that question. So I have a question here. Is top up for HND 1-year program, right, Dr. Tunde?
Yes. So the top-up program is a 1-year program. It's a 1-year program, yes. Basically for those that have HND, they can do their top-up 1 year. They can do it with us. That's correct. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. While Dr. Tunde was talking, a poll was launched. So we just really want to understand where everyone is in their education journey. So the poll says, are you considering pursuing an undergraduate or postgraduate degree? So you can select either you are considering an undergraduate program, postgraduate program, or not at the moment. So we'll just encourage every participant to be a part of that poll, so that we just know, understand where everyone is in their educational journey and how we can best serve you. The only other thing is that a link to a form is going to be posted in the comments section, where you could just indicate immediately your interest. So for those of us who are on the call and you're very much interested in taking advantage of the discount that Dr. Tunde spoke about, the £1,000 discount, either for undergraduate or postgraduate programs, just feel free to click on that link. It has been shared with us. So click on that link, and a representative will contact you shortly. But at this point, I would then want to head over into the panel session and just invite Dr. Larry. Dr. Larry, are you still with us?
I'm still with you.
Fantastic. So I would like Professor Ifeoma as well to join. Professor Ifeoma, are you with us? Okay.
Here.
Okay, great. And then of course, Professor, yes, and then Professor Derek as well, just to handle maybe questions that could come on the Sunderland side. So we have a couple of questions that our participants sent in while we were preparing for the webinar, that we would want Dr. Larry, yourself, Professor Ifeoma, and Professor Derek to handle. So my first question here is for Professor Ifeoma, and the question says, how do you encourage students to leverage their international education experiences and become effective change agents, driving positive change both in their home countries and abroad?
Okay. I have very good case studies that I can actually use to illustrate this question. Specifically,
when I went into the clinical trial space, I had absolutely no idea what it was all about, but I knew that it has the capacity, reading through literature, that has the capacity to influence the healthcare structure and create enabling environment for our patients, especially the cancer patients, to thrive and give an opportunity for involvement of our population in the whole process of drug development. So I started reaching out to Nigerians in the diaspora. So this is where it comes in, the question you're asking. The Nigerian in the diaspora has been exposed to Western education, and he's had opportunities to play in the sector of clinical trial. There were some in institutions who were actually in cancer management. So between all these people, I gathered some kind of goodwill from them, and they saw that this is somebody who was trying to create a change in Nigeria, and they could bring to the table all the knowledge they have, all the exposures to the actual practice of clinical trial. We were working on theoretical aspect of it, just having lectures and never actually having a hands-on. But these ones were in the field. So when they came in, they flew themselves in, because we didn't have the funds to fly them in. So they were acting as faculty. And we didn't have Zoom in those days, in the 2006 and the rest of them. So everything had to be physical. And it was quite capital intensive. And we were working with the regulatory body, that's NAFDAC. And it was truly, truly profound. And we were making good inroads, educating, upskilling, and creating the enabling human capital investment that needed to be created to enable the clinical trial process and ensure that ethical guidelines are utilized. And those faculty were able to work with NAFDAC to review their clinical trial regulations and to enable them to bring it to international standards. In fact, it was that work that brought the attention of that brought me to the attention of Ashoka, which is an international organization that recognizes people who have catalyzed social change. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Ifeoma. We will get right back to you, but thank you for those very insightful contributions. Our next question is for Professor Derrick. Professor Derrick, are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, so I have a question here, and then it says, are there any opportunities for students, so that's both undergraduate, postgraduate students, to engage in internships, or any research related to their field of study?
Sure. And just following on from my colleague there, I'm going to answer both questions. From experience, quite often, a lot of students enroll on a program and then they don't know what kind of career they specifically want to move into. We've also got examples whereby students pontificate, should I enroll, should I not? Time moves on very quickly. And from experience, I would encourage all students to, if you're unsure of what kind of career that you want to move into, my best advice is enroll now, because the exposure that you'll receive on a week-by-week basis will help develop that confidence level. Now, how do we do this? We do this, and I'll come to the second part of the question, we do this by creating opportunities where students can work with live organizations. For example, I said in my presentation, we have that unique blend with labs in the university, our academics are qualified teachers, but consultants. So for example, I'm currently working with Audi car manufacturer at the moment and retail dealerships in the UK. I've already set up mechanisms for when I go back to the UK in September, where students will come out with me, some simply to observe, test the water, but others will be asking questions. And we have this rotational process whereby academics will bring in opportunities into the classroom where students can work in live organizations or participate or use that exposure as a live assignment. You can't run before you can walk, and you can't walk before you can crawl. So it's an incremental learning process. We do not throw students in at the deep end, but what we do is we create an environment whereby students can populate their resume with additional exposure. And this goes back to the phrase I came out with my presentation. Labs in the university is very much teaching beyond the textbook. And that's balance between theory and commercial insights. And one of the many positives that came out of the COVID pandemic is the accessibility to organizations through virtual platforms. And we've had students working on micro projects, medium to major projects, online with organizations from the US to Australia to Inner Mongolia, way out to Panama. There are many opportunities. What we need students is we can create these opportunities, but students have to push the envelope. They may be a little bit nervous or a little bit shy, test the water. And that's how they grow in their commercial insights in this global, highly competitive work environment. So back to you, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. Very, very deep insight there. So my next question, Prof, I will get back to you, but my next question goes to Dr. Larry. Dr. Larry, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. So I have a question here, and then the question says, what really sets the London Academy Business School's programs apart from other institutions in the country?
Well, I'll give you 5 different reasons. One of them, we don't go on strike because our program is managed in collaboration with the University of Sunderland. We run the same timetable. We don't create our own timetable. So we run the same timetable that is run in the UK. We start the program with them, so we don't go on strike. That is one. 2, the quality of our program is checked internationally, delivered by people that are approved by the university itself. Nothing is done under cover, it's all transparent. And we don't read textbook to our students. We teach what is in the textbook. And one of the things that is so important here to remember is that when students graduate with us at London Academy Business School in Nigeria, the certificate doesn't say they actually studied in Nigeria. They actually studied University of Sunderland program. Location, in this case, is not important because the quality assurance is maintained by the university. And I've spent 45 years of my life, 40 years of my life in the UK, doing, 25 to 28 of that in higher education system. So I understand the importance of making sure we practice what we preach. So, and not only the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to change the narratives. This is not being done because of money. If it's been done because of money, it will be a different story. It's done because of passion and also done because of we want Nigeria young people to move from where they are right now to the next level. When you look at what is happening, people trying to cross the sea to Europe, some of them are not educated. Because if you're educated, unfortunately, if you wouldn't want to jump into a boat that doesn't, that can always withstand sea waves and things like that. So we think some of those issues has to be different. So we're passionate about educating people, but also we are decolonizing curriculum that is teaching not using the international jargons, but using local jargon. So we have international feel and local application. That is different. So we're not like the private institution in Nigeria who will pass you because you've paid huge amount of money or because somebody knows you. We treat people on merit, so that when they graduate, if you graduate as a pilot, just for example, we will be happy to give you the key to an aircraft that you can fly an aircraft because we know you're a graduate. Not that we'll be scared that will this person be able to do this job. Those are the difference. So we want people to bridge the gap between theory and practice. That is one of those things that I believe is important. And our students will have access to the international collaboration, international community of students in London, students in the north of England, students in Hong Kong, and now students in Nigeria will have to blend. So they will have alumni of students across the world. That is the beauty. So we are so different. And if you look at Nigeria, currently we have Rome Business School running some European Rome Business School running Rome, qualification. Not compared. I'm not being sarcastic here, but not compared to that of UK. And we also have Regenesis running South African qualification. I'm not trying to talk down all those ones, but I'm saying UK qualification is actually graded as one of the best in the world. So we have that to contend with. So I believe that sets us apart. So any of our students should be proud that they are registered with the University of Sunderland, studying University of Sunderland program to any employer. And one thing, we will bridge the gap between theory and practice. That is, I mean, there's a lot more, but just for this, webinar, if anybody want to know more, they should, give us a try. A try will convince you. That is what I have to say for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. So my next question goes to back to Professor Derek. So Professor Derek, I have a question here for you. It says, does the University of Sunderland offer interdisciplinary options or specialized tracks within programs that allow students to tailor?
I'm sending.
Okay, that allow students to tailor their education to their specific interests or career goals.
Sure, very good question. All of our programs are not taught in isolation. For example, where students may study marketing and there is no connectivity with other subjects such as human resource management or tourism. All of our programs are intertwined. So students, when they enroll, and that we have a very thorough induction program to educate students about the study techniques, the type of classes, the difference between a lecture and a seminar and a workshop, and all these different forums create an opportunity where students can share their different experiences in class. And it's very difficult to purely talk in isolation. So what we do is we make sure that we network with other subject specialisms. And once again, a lot of students enroll on a program and they're not quite specifically identified, they haven't quite specifically identified which career path they want to move into. This is how they carve that decision, that view, as they work through their degree or postgraduate degree program. The exposure with live commercial organizations will help students interpret how departments depend on other departments, divisions work with other divisions, and the formal communications in an organization, the people challenges that you have, leadership, management, different departmental teams, how they all work together. So it's a process really of almost unpicking what may appear to be on day one a complicated scenario. So by the time students complete their program, they can not only understand that complicated world out there, but they can articulate a very good narrative on the common challenges all organizations face. So in summary, our students will exit with a good underpinning, a good insight, academically and commercially, of the different functions and different market sectors across the economy to varying degrees. And the work placements that they can embrace, both in curriculum, outside of curriculum or extra curriculum, will help reinforce that intuition on how the economy and businesses work. And that's evident in our conversion rates. When students go for job interviews, we have an excellent conversion rate in getting those careers, not just any job, but a career with progression. And to do that, they have to understand how that complicated world works and to be able to communicate it in simplistic mechanisms. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you so much, Prof. Please, before you go, I just have one question again, just in addition to this. It says, what if you're not sure about the course you want to study? What should you do?
Right. Another good question. Vast majority of our students in the UK on rolling on programs, they do not know what career path they want to pursue. And if you remember one of the slides, and I take it that my presentation was recorded, it had the University of Sunderland qualification is rather like a passport. Your learning journey will help you identify career paths which you can pursue. So you might start a program that you want to say, right, I want to work in human resource management. I want to work in hospitality and tourism. Your journey through our academic program, because it's so intertwined with theory and commercial practice in a gauged, well-paced tutorial, seminar, workshop, lecture environment, students start to identify what career opportunity that they would like to pursue. However, jobs will come up where students can adapt their resume legitimately to apply for different types of jobs. So it might be starting off in HR you want to move into, but you actually graduate and you may move into finance or computing. And that's the creativity conversion that we have at the University of Sunderland. It's not rigid, it's highly organic, developmental, but it is paced so students feel supported, not carried, but supported through their educational journey. Back to you, Peter.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. That was really, really insightful. My next question goes to Prof. Ifeoma. And the question here is, please just hold on and just get it. Okay, so Professor Ifeoma, are you with us?
I'm with you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So the question here is, please, I would like to know how your exposure to qualitative international education has actually broadened your perspective or influenced your commitment to social change and inclusivity.
Okay, I have to be quite truthful. I did all my education in Nigeria. I only did some attachments in centers abroad. So I don't have that background of studying outside the country. I studied in Nigeria, right from elementary school through to secondary and through with my postgraduate. However, it didn't stop me from having interaction. And you know, slowly the world has become a global village. This is why the university has brought a campus to Nigeria and is offering students a total exposure to what the university has to offer right here in the university from beginning to the end, or an opportunity to do 1 year and some part of your time out, in outside of the country. So the entire world has become a global village. I think that's just one mindset you need to have. So to have social impact, to have social change, you have to not be looking at what you're studying as just mere words or mere something to pass exams. You have to be looking at it in the concept of how can I translate what I'm being taught or what I'm learning into how I can become a change agent, how I can be the answer to some of the issues, the problems of my home country. I give you an example. My daughter finished at, she did in University College London, and then in Imperial she did her master's in the UK. And even before she came back, as she was doing her final master's, she was coming up with all sorts of solutions, how to absorb, get water, clean water from virtually the air, so many kinds of solutions. And so I began to look at her and see that there was a difference between her that is trained outside of the country and some of the students that we have. Now, we have a stereotype kind of education that is not giving us an opportunity to understand that what we are learning can be translated into utilization for actual solutions. So everyone comes out of the university waiting to be employed. But you find that students who come out from outside of the country, who have had that exposure, they come out wanting to be employers of labor, services that the entire world would want to have. So this is the mindset that I believe that if you come into the university with this vast opportunity, University of Sunderland, you'll be able to leverage all that you're learning. Don't just take it as 1 + 1 is 2. Take it that you're being empowered to leverage all your opportunities to the best advantage and be a solution provider. And, we need to come out of this being utilizers of products that other people have produced and begin to be, to produce our own products and be able to market it to the international community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prof. And then I have one last question for Dr. Larry. And the question goes, how do the programs at the London Academy Business School align with current industry trends and demands? And how is the curriculum designed to equip students with relevant skills? Dr. Larry? Hello, Dr. Larry, are you there? Okay, so I'll just take Professor Derrick's last question. So Professor Derrick, I have a question here and it says, how does the university support students in terms of employability and career development? And then it goes further to say, are there any career counseling services, workshops, or connections with industry professionals?
Yes, another very good question. The students, when they enroll in labs in the University of Sunderland, have access to what we call our graduate prospects. And this is a specific department which liaises very heavily with SMEs and larger businesses, and they create work placements for students. So the university offers a labyrinth of opportunities for students to gain part-time commercial exposure. That could be half a day a week, be a day a week, or it could be during weekends or evenings. But we've got to make sure that the students has that right level of balance. Too much work will affect the studies. So they will be given a personal tutor to coach them through that process. Now, it's very important that students look at their resume. This is what employers will look at. So what we start off is through our induction program with labs, and I will be part of that induction. I'll be working with students, and I will be emphasizing the importance of employability. This is the golden thread running through all of our programs. So every module that a student will embark on, every seminar, every lecture, it will always have the golden thread of employability, because that's the game that we're in. We want students to have an enriched learning program, but it is very much students pay their fee. They want to make sure that they're getting the right tuition, but also when they graduate, that they have interviews, job prospects to secure that career with progression. And that's only achievable via a multitude of opportunities where students can gain access to employability. However, in saying that, we do encourage students to use their own personal network. That could be based within Nigeria or potentially international networks. And if they register, which we'll encourage them to do through our induction, to set up their LinkedIn social media page, they can canvass prospective employers. So it's a two-way relationship. The university has many support divisions to help students secure those employability opportunities, but equally, we encourage students to use their own personal network, and they will acquire various skills or strengthen skills such as communication, confidence, negotiation, conflict resolution, and motivational strategies. All such skills are peppered throughout all of our programs within that. So back to you, Peter.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prof, for that very insightful answer. The last question I have here will go to Dr. Tunde. So Dr. Tunde, someone asked, I do not know if there are any scholarships available one can take advantage of in the course of study. That's the question.
Okay, so that's a good one. So very quickly.
Hello, Dr. Tunde, please I think you're mute. I cannot hear you.
Okay, so let me take that question once again. So for those that will be enrolling, for the September-October intake, so we are offering a £1,000 scholarship for the undergraduate program starting in September-October, and also £1,000 scholarship for those that will be enrolling for the January-February 2024 intake, 2023-2024 intake. Again, like I mentioned, the undergraduate program tuition is £4,500, and then they have a privilege to take £1,000 off, so that makes it £3,000 after the discount of £1,000. That is for the undergraduate starting September, October 2023. Now for the postgraduates, that will be starting January, February. So the tuition is £6,500, and we will be offering £1,000. So they will be paying, after discounted tuition, they were paying £5,500. So across undergraduate, postgraduate, we will be offering £1,000. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Tunde. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you so much for joining today's session. We have come to the end of today's session, but this is not the end of the conference. We still have a session tomorrow, and that session starts from 2 p.m. as well, same time. And in tomorrow's session, we're going to be having very, very great panelists as well. I mean, I want to believe that you had a very great time listening to Professor Derek, to Dr. Tunde, to Professor Ifeoma, to Dr. Larry, and everyone. And for tomorrow's session, we're actually going to have Her Royal Highness Princess Moradun Adedoyin. She'll be talking about how you can leverage global education and economic empowerment for sustainable transformation. We would also have Dr. Mark Abani. Dr. Mark Abani will be talking about global education as a transformative asset in shaping both your academic and professional growth. And we would have Dr. Hanane. And Dr. Hanane would be talking about how we could empower tomorrow's innovators and foster sustainable solutions through global science, technology, and mathematical education. Please ensure to be around for tomorrow's session. Do not miss it for anything. Also, encourage your friends, your colleagues who are looking to study abroad and are looking for very affordable solutions for themselves. Do well to invite them to be a part of tomorrow's webinar as well. We're going to meet here same time, 2 p.m. GMT +1 or West African time. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you for joining today's session. Do have a pleasant day ahead. Take care and bye-bye.